because the manufactured culture, and again, I'm not talking about somebody who genuinely has same-sex attraction or genuinely has gender dysphoria or something like that. I'm talking about this manufactured culture that's just constantly shoved right in your face in today's day and age of LGBT world. Is it's built around you. Focus on you. Focus on you. The world's your enemy if they don't agree with you. It's a very self-centered, navel-gazing thing. And it's very easy to see how a lot of people who actually aren't gay or trans or anything like that can get swept up in it. It's also easy to imagine how people that actually are genuinely same-sex attracted or, feel like they're in another gender or whatever can take a step into the culture and yet still get caught up in that wave of navel-gazing and so self-focused and self-service, self-centered focus. There's no peace in that kind of in-your-face culture that's trying to infuse our mythology and using our mythology to preach it. And that's disgusting because they're using our mythology. They're using wonderful stories, not just new stories, but stories of old that our foundations have been built upon. Classic pieces of literature, our classic mythologies, our classic holy books like the Bible. As I mentioned, David and Jonathan. And they're trying to turn around and say, oh, well, those, they're trying to read their agenda, their manufactured LGBTQ agenda or whatever into all of that. Well, they're trying to push a self-centered, a emotionally stunted understanding into the foundations of our culture. It's not hard to see how that's just going to bring everything crumbling right down. And it just becomes how people think about everything around them and how they're trying to reshape your reality around you. Let's talk about He-Man for a second. How in the world is He-Man gay coded? And some people would hear me ask that question and think, are you serious? How ridiculous are you? Of course it's gay coded. Prince Adam is wearing pink. Okay, well, listen to what you're saying. He's wearing pink and he says the word fabulous in the opening. Isn't that kind of racist or homophobic? Isn't that kind of stereotypes about gays to think that anybody who might wear pink or says the word fabulous is automatically gay? Isn't that kind of stereotypical and something you'd want to fight against, thinking that anybody who was that ripped and muscular and well kept and in shape was automatically gay? No, that's stupid. That's horrible. You wouldn't think that. These are stereotypes that you would try to discourage people from. But it's okay if they're doing it because they're coming from the right pet ideology of it, and it's just about raising awareness now. So, of course, He-Man's gay then. That's ridiculous. That's stupid. Brotep, thank you for another $5. Says, I wonder if the folks pushing for this mandatory representation stuff suffer from narcissism. It's very self-centered. Yes. I haven't said the word narcissism yet, but I mean, very well. I mean, to the point where it has to be clinical on some level. I mean, there is just this it's a psychosis, like I said. I mean, it's just this insane determination to only serve yourself and to only focus on yourself. When if heroes' journeys from all mythology, I mean, from any religion out there have taught us anything, it's that your fulfillment as a hero is to be in service of others. Not to the detriment of who you are, you don't deny who you are or anything like that, but you do deny yourself, in terms of what you feel you are owed and whatnot, to find that fulfillment in serving others. That's just basic hero's journey stuff 101. But yeah, the modern day ideologies try to subvert all of that. Firewatcher, thank you very much for $5. Says, and at the same time, they're pushing straight men to wear pink and be in touch with their feminine side. Yeah, right. Well, and as I was saying earlier, is it any wonder that they are scared to, with the way this, on the other hand, this rampant, So what are some of the other things? All right, Prince Adam, of course, he's coded gay because of his pink, and there's nothing gay about him wearing pink and purple. Those colors are not primary colors, right? He-Man doesn't wear primary colors. He's more exposed. He's just got the earthy brown and more the exposed chest and the grays. You think about the colors He-Man is in, that's because he is the primal elemental strength, of the earth. But something like pink and purple or whatnot for a man, well, that's because of that foppishness he's supposed to have. And that's his disguise as Prince Adam, trying to pretend that he's just, he's not very good. He's not very concerned with, becoming a king and running the kingdom one day. He's just silly old Prince Adam. Well, that's his Clark Kent disguise. It's very easy to see. Then I've had people actually tell me, and these are quotes I've actually gotten. Yeah, but come on. Look at Man-at-Arms mustache. Of course that's gay coded. I get that mustaches aren't exactly in fashion right now. And the stereotype is, oh, you got a mustache. Takes a real manly man to try and pull off a mustache these days. You know, I get it. It's not in fashion right now. But that wasn't the case in the 80s. You're going to tell me Magnum PI's gay coded or anything like, no, they're not. Just because you get a sexual thrill out of thinking of a man like that or whatever doesn't make it gay coded as an objective truth. Again, what that says about you is that you can't look at these cartoons, for crying out loud, and put your sexual stimulation on the shelf for a few minutes while you're watching a children's cartoon. This is everything about your own sickness of head and not that. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So what are some of the other things about He-Man? You know, like I was saying about Teela, for example, when people were saying Teela is, she was always, in bondage or captured and whatnot in the show. And I said, no, she wasn't. No, she wasn't at all, actually. This is just the Google image searches you keep finding, because occasionally when she was captured, as Man-at-Arms was captured, as other people were captured, King Randor himself were captured, you got sickos on the internet who just want to screenshot that and just put that and just try to push that or whatever. So yeah, you're going to find that. So something like that. They're going to try and cut out as many images that they can try to turn into innuendos as they can, because they're obsessed with it. This is all they can see when they look at the world around them is gay innuendo, because they're obsessed with it. When no, it doesn't mean that at all. Just because you took an image and freeze framed it and placed it out of context and altered it doesn't mean that suddenly that's what the cartoon was trying to do. No, that's ridiculous. It's part of the double standard. I talked about in a previous video how when you deal with ideologues about any of these issues, I think I was talking about either the feminist thing or whatever, but they will shift the goalposts of the argument. They'll keep shifting those goalposts because they don't even believe in objective truth or logic or whatever. So it doesn't matter for them. They will shift the goalposts as many times as they can to try and act like they're clearly right. And, oh, if it's wrong to stereotype a man who wears a pink shirt or has a mustache or maybe takes care of themselves physically as, oh, clearly they're so gay. Yeah, that's wrong. So you don't get to do it to cartoons either. You don't get to do it to that. And can we just go back as a way to kind of wrap this up, at least this portion of it, before we kind of, talk to the chat and whatnot? Can we just wrap this up by talking about and looking at again how disgusting and sick this is? Again, take it out of the LGBTQ agenda context and just put it as some older guy getting his jollies again after watching, I don't know, the Punky Brewster cartoon or something like that, just to make it an extra level of creepy. No, that's disgusting. So why do you get to watch, He-Man or G.I. Joe or Thundercats or whatever and get a thrill thinking, oh, that's clearly so gay. It's clearly so gay. They were coding it for that, guys. No, that's insane. And this is a part that, yeah, Firewatcher's bringing up about Blue's Clues with the drag queens and whatnot. You wouldn't sit down with your preschooler and start giving them the sex talk. Start telling them about, the ways of the birds and the bees and so forth. Trying to watch my language just to make sure that the channel gets okay or the video stays where it needs to be. You wouldn't do that, right? That's insane. So you don't prance a drag queen in front of them either. Because why does a man dress up as a woman? Why is that drag queen? Oh, and they'll rail against me for this, but at its core, it's because of a sexual thrill. Oh, that's not true at all. It's about confidence. It's about being who you truly are and blah, blah, blah. No, it's about a sexual thrill. You shouldn't need to wear the lingerie and wear the makeup and all that kind of stuff if it's just about confidence and being who you are. No, it's this that argument's the same kind of stupid argument that, okay, well, if John over there identifies as a dog, well, he should be able to wear his dog costume everywhere he goes in public. No, it's not really appropriate. No, he doesn't we don't just have to deal with him and put up with him walking on all fours and sniffing people's butts as they pass. No, that's inappropriate, and he has a problem, and he needs to go deal with that. You don't get that. That's, if you put it on that level, it's the same kind of argument. Sexualization or the messaging are teaching the education of sexual of children as sexual beings and so forth has no place in these children's stories, these children's cartoons. The reason they're so desperate to get drag queens on Blue's Clues or whatever, or to get all of this nonsense pushed into the younger the better, is because they're trying to indoctrinate the young so that they can truly alter reality around you. You know, like I said before, they're trying to make as long as if they can get as many people as possible to admit that the sky is yellow, you know, then they'll have won. They're desperate to do it, which is why they keep going younger and younger and younger. And do not think if you in it, this is not an indictment against anybody who has children in a public school. Sometimes you just can't afford to do anything other than that. But what I'm saying here is, don't think for a second that, well, your public school is okay because your district is okay. No, this is so pervasive. It's out there everywhere. Whether you have children yourself or you know children or whatever, they are being slowly indoctrinated by this nonsense. Whether it's just this one teacher who brings it in, or it's being trickled down from high, you know, through the administration or the curriculum or whatever, it is absolutely out there. They are trying to indoctrinate. And not just at a young level, too. Of course, in universities and colleges, it's everywhere, and you have to be on your guard against it at every step, at every single step.